And now, the host of your show, the Hardcore Enforcer, Mr. California!
Oh, yeah, and welcome to another edition of Ultraviolent Radio. I am your host, the one and only, the Hardcore Enforcer, Mr. California. I like to refer myself these days as the Master of Ultraviolence. But let's get right into our interview. Today's guest is the head trainer of the Santino Bros Academy, the rock superstar, Kaos. Are you there with me, brother?
That's right, baby. Hey, it's actually I'm making a change in my wrestling career. I'm changing to Gorgeous Joey Kaos.
Oh, Gorgeous Joey Kaos.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, so you got to kind of evolve, So I did the Rock Superstar, the Triple Threat Superstar. So I thought everyone's a superstar these days. So I'm going to be Gorgeous Joey Kaos and try to do something a little different. Especially with my beautiful long curly hair now, so I think I'll kind of go with that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying, brother. Yeah. And moving on, brother. Let's get right to this interview. Let's talk about what's really important to you, what's important to myself. A man that revolutionized Southern California by training a lot of names, brother. The one that owns the legendary Mr. 80s DYnamite D, brother. Let's talk about what you're gonna do April 9th, this Saturday night, brother.
Man.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, man, this Saturday night, April 9th, in Newhall, California, we're doing the second annual DYnamite D Memorial show. We call it Back to the 80s. This one in particular is called Back to the 80s 2. And, it's a great tribute, and, it's a tribute to 80s wrestling, but most importantly, just like you said, it's a tribute to our brother, mentor, training partner, trainer, DYnamite D, Darren Lee McMillan, and we're just it's really tough in independent wrestling, and DYnamite D was a great influence to a lot of guys out here, and he touched a lot of lives, and he touched a lot of hearts, and a lot of people out here care about him, and it's only right to really tribute him and memorialize him this way. So really excited. Everybody in tribute to DYnamite D is gonna take hand in his in one of his most known monikers, the Mr. 80s gimmick, and everyone's gonna go ahead and dress up as their favorite 80s character. And we're in tribute to DYnamite D. We're gonna go ahead and do that and just keep his dream alive. Because that's really what's most important.
Last year, brother, you did the Macho Man Randy Savage gimmick, brother. How was that, brother? Because I remember seeing some of your promos on YouTube, and you got to study the Macho Man. You got to be just like him, brother. And you did a lot of it with the elbow, the thing over the top rope. How did that feel, man?
It was definitely an awesome experience. I just kind of really just tried to really make Dynamite proud. And so I really studied the Macho Man and his mannerisms, and really what we really found out about it was doing this tribute and this gimmick where everyone dresses up as a Mr. 80s character. Really figured out it was like DYnamite D was still teaching us. He passed away in 2007, and we dressed up. We pulled off his gimmick. Is dressing up as an 80s character, and in the end, I realized that he still taught us, because to do the 80s character, you kind of realize what more as independent wrestlers, what we need to put into our character and what we need to put into our personalities, and all these characters from the 80s were bigger than life and bigger personalities, times 10 if the volume turned up. And, kind of really realize, wow, this is something special. It's really fun to do the show, but we also learn something in the end, and it's kind of just an attachment of DYnamite D's training for all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man. The man trained me, brother. He taught me a lot that I know into this business, and I carry his legacy, even though I do, opposite shit like deathmatch wrestling. what Dynamite D didn't really like because he was a solid regular wrestler, technical wrestler, but he never criticized nobody. You know what I'm saying?
No, man. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I remember when you were doing your show, and I think it was one of your first shows.
Yeah.
And Dynamite D was like, "Hey, Chaos, we do this show. Marvin's running the show," and I kind of stopped him and I looked at him. I said, "Man, is that Marvin the same guy that we had to straighten up in training because he was doing shows when he wasn't supposed to?" And and so I kind of looked at it like that, and I was kind of like, I don't know, D. And Dynamite kind of put me in my place. And he said, "Look, man, he's accepted his responsibility, and he's one of my students that's really just trying to make a difference, and he's really trying to give back to pro wrestling, especially in independent wrestling. It's so hard." And Dynamite D told me that, and so I kind of looked at it on his side of the fence. I kind of looked at it in a different way. And that's one of the main reasons, man. Whenever you call me, man, I'm always there because Dynamite D was, he definitely accepted you, and yeah, man. I mean, I'm being honest, bro. I know it's tough out here. A lot of the guys that we came from XPW, we kind of still have that stink on us, and I know the guys that came from the XPW Asylum have that same stink on them. Yeah, that reputation, and it's hard to kind of clean it up, no matter what you do. But Dynamite D was one of the greatest technical wrestlers out here in Southern California, and yeah, he did. Yeah, man, and he did say, man, that he tried to tell me look at it a different way. This is Marvin. He's trying to do something different, and he wasn't a punk about it.
Yeah.
So. I've always carried that really close to my heart, when it comes to that. So, that's why when we kind of do the Dynamite D Memorial show, everyone that was trained by Dynamite D or touched by his lives, is welcome to do the show. So we got a whole cast of characters that are going to be there that haven't been in the wrestling ring in a few years, and a lot of guys are doing it. It ain't easy getting back in the ring, but a lot of guys are doing it for Dynamite D because that's how much he meant to them.
So if you could tell us, what's the card, brother? Because I've seen it on the boards and everything, but you know it better than all of us. If you could run really quick through a couple of matches, I know you're having a battle royal, 15-man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, in the main event, we're going to have the main event battle royal. We're going to see all these different cast of characters, and I'd love to tell you who's going to be there, man, but you really got to tune in and show up to see who's going to be who. Because it's going to be fun, man. But we're going to have I'm going to be teaming up with one of my students, Thunder Kitty, versus Bo Cooper. And he's going to be teaming up with my student Amanda. Yeah. So we're gonna get down an intergender match. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then the twist about it, man, is that we're all going to be dressed up as 80s characters. So that's going to be the fun part. That's going to be the twist. So it's not just going to be chaos. And it's not just going to be Amanda or Thunder Kitty. We're going to have a little twist 80s character to us. I got Pinky Santino and Rico Dynamite in a blindfold match.
Old school.
Yeah, man. Yeah, old school, baby. So this is going to be fun. And really the show itself is based around the 80s. So it's really going to be a blast from the past. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, people have to show up. So yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to have Angel Face Chavez versus Damian Arsenic. But yeah, man, and it's not just the matches that are going to be fun. It's going to be who they are. It's going to be the best. So
what 80 gimmicks they're going to bring out to the table? You're trying to say?
Hell yeah.
And so like last year, is this year, are you going to let the fans dress up too again, or that's not going to happen? I remember last year.
You know what?
But they didn't really.
I didn't even think about it, man, but now that you said it, you're right. We did ask the fans to dress up. I'm going to have to put that on our campaign, on our website, and let everybody know to dress up. Yeah, man, so it's going to be fun. Yeah, you know what, man, Marvin, I didn't even think about that. It's just like, it's been tough, It's like running a million miles an hour, running the show, and then not only this, but running the Santino Brothers Wrestling School.
Day in and day out, brother.
Yeah, man, day in, day out. When we first started, man, when we were in the backyard, it was just do a class for these guys that want to train. Yeah. But now that we've opened the school and have the building, and man, it's a different story, man. So it's a labor of love. You know what I mean? So
Exactly, brother. Yeah, man, I respect that, bro. I respect you guys and all the Santinos, brother. You know what I mean? And I mean, I see what you guys are doing, and you're building what the asylum used to have. You know what the dojo used to have. You know the other dojo, the Noki dojo, and also slammers, like you like to say in your promos or in your YouTube thing, and you're building into one, and that's like the best Southern California school right now, brother. You know, I mean, everybody talks about it. Everywhere I go, everybody talks about it. You know what I mean? And
you know what? Thank you a lot, man. We put a lot of hard work into it, and you're right. I do see the other schools popping out because when we first started our school, one of our main thing was it was like, man, no one gives you any pictures, no one gives you any videos, and everyone's all hush hush about it. And I'm like, this is 2008. Yeah. So Mongo and I, we were just trying to be different, and I think that's in pro wrestling. If you want to be successful, is you have to try to be different than the curve. You can't be like everybody else. Different is so special in pro wrestling. So that's what we try to do, and we get some heat for it for breaking kayfabe, but man, it's 2011, bro. And if you don't know the, you know what I mean? It's like, man, I'm really fooling myself. I'm trying to tell little kids that this is 100% real. There's other ways to do it. All you gotta do is show them your forehead. Show them your scar from your ACL surgery. Because that's the real stuff. That's the real pain. Show them the all the sacrifices put into just trying to make it. Just trying to. It's not even just trying to make it. Just trying to get an opportunity. So.
Hey, Chaos, talking about scars and talking about sacrifice and all this. You're not a strange. This show's about death matches, but we talk about you because I have so much respect for the man. You know what I mean? He paved the way for me in my career. He trained me. But let's talk about your death matches. You had several death matches in Mexico. You had them in XPW. I mean, one that comes to mind right off the bat, I think it was 2000, 2001, the first Baptized in Blood, the death matches against one of your family members, Supreme, and you were only 21 years old when you were a kid, Chaos. How did you feel going into that match, man, in a death match?
Man, that was one hell of a match that I want to know where the hell the videotape is, man. I've seen clips of it. I've heard people talk about it. And I got to say, dude, hands down. And maybe that's because the video doesn't exist, but if someone has it, produce it. But hands down, that's the best death match in pro wrestling history. I mean, I know there's a lot of great death matches, man. I know there's Terry Funk and Sabu and Onita and Pogo, but man, we really, I really believe, because we watched a lot of death match tapes before we started our death matches in XPW. And when I first did my death match, Rob Black said, that kid ain't gonna do no death match, so they put me off the card, and I was offended, man. I was like, what the hell, man? But I just wanted to be on the card because this was the biggest shit going on, man. This was the biggest stuff going on in XPW. So I told him, I was like, hell yeah, I want to be in a death match. And I felt bad because they probably pulled somebody from the show to put me on, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But we watched death matches among death matches. We watched the Headhunters in Japan, where they had scorpion death matches and electric eel death matches. And one thing I noticed was, man, what these guys did was they would wrestle a match, and then at the end, that would be the big deathmatch move or whatever, and that would be it. And so we kind of like, and I knew where they were going with that old school terminology and that old school psychology, but I was like, man, this is the 2000s, man. This is XPW. We got to up the ante. So, man, really when we did our match, man, I told Supreme, we got to go balls to the wall, but we can't forget, dude, we're pro wrestling, and that's what we're doing. We're not going out there to just kill each other with death matches, but we're going to give these guys not only a great death match, but a great pro wrestling match. And man, it was like it was unwalked surfaces, man. No, we didn't know what to expect. We grabbed the light tubes and we swung them at each other, and we were expecting to get hit with them, but we didn't expect the light tubes to go into the crowd. We didn't think about it, to really be honest with you. So it was not only dangerous to be in the match, but it was dangerous to watch the match, especially ringside. But yeah, man, I remember taking a Supreme powerbomb me off the top rope to the outside onto a table. And I remember, man, his feet hit the table and broke the table, so I hit all concrete. And I remember being loopy from that, man. And Supreme, I remember looking up, and Supreme is like cheering to the crowd, and man, I just remember, man, it was just like a fight for our life, you know. I mean, to be honest, like, you know, pro wrestling, we usually know what's gonna happen, man. But this was a fight, and you know, because you really can't determine, because people think that, you know, we cut the barbed wire down, or we use, I mean, how do you think the light tube glass? Really, there's no way. Maybe they think it's candy glass. I don't know, but no, man. To be honest, man, I think and Marvin, you could tell me the truth. Even as pro wrestlers, if we were to do that, I think it would be too much work to really, right? To really bend down every piece of barbed wire and try to jimmy every thumbtack. I mean, we're talking about thousands and thousands of thumbtacks. So yeah, you know, yeah, it's like, man, you know, we love wrestling.
The light tube's unpredictable, brother. The barbed wire's real. I mean, Supreme's done it. You've done it. Myself done it. Many wrestlers down the line done it. And you can't fake that. You know what I mean? It's real. It's real as it's dead. You know what I mean? And if you don't believe it, I mean, try it yourself. I mean, don't try it. Don't, like, you know, if you want to train, go to your school, the Centennial Bros Academy. You know what I mean? But kids don't try it at home. But seriously, it's real as it gets. You show by the scars. Supreme has them. You have them. I have them. Many people have scars, brother. You can prove it. You know what I mean?
You know, the best part about being in a death match, man, it's really, be honest, I don't know, maybe this has something to do with us being sickos, or maybe it has something to do with us being like, you know how they have like those girls that are cutters, those teenagers that they cut themselves?
Yeah, exactly.
And I kind of think like I have a little bit of that, you know, because I love the feeling of blood falling down my face, you know. You know, and then the best part is that, like, when you know, this is like a sicko talking, man. I like when you open your eyes and everything is red. You know, it's a red film. You know, that's something that you really can't explain to somebody. What do you mean everything's red? It's like, fuck, dude, everything is red. You know what I mean? So.
You know what, Calvin? There was another match that I remember. If you remember back in the Olympic Auditorium days, when you wrestled White Trash Johnny Webb, brother, you guys had a really brutal match, man. That was a sick match between you and Webb, man.
That was, man. When you get in the ring with Johnny Webb, man, you really never know what to expect, man, because that guy's like a stubborn mule sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You're over there trying to kick the mule. Come on, let's go. And he's like, fuck you, homie. But yeah, man. I really love that match. I dug that match. There was a lot of great improvisation in there, especially when we stepped on the thumbtacks and we were just slipping on them. And you know, I think you mentioned it. It was probably one of the greatest things was you know, having the opportunity to wrestle at the Grand Olympic Auditorium.
Yeah,
you know.
It's not there.
Yeah, man, they turned it into a church. You know, so I mean, there's just so much history. Yeah. You know, you talk to some old time fans, old time wrestlers, and I mean, guys like Alex Knight wrestle down there. You'll have fans that say, man, I used to go down there and watch the wrestling every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, just having the opportunity to wrestle, you know, death matches at the Grand Olympic Auditorium. I mean, that's why I actually wrestled DYnamite D. The second round of the TV tournament.
One of the great matches in my book, brother. I remember that was a good match. I remember the finish was crazy, man. When D went up for the Rana, brother, he came down and he spiked power drum. That was amazing, bro.
Dude, you know what, man? DYnamite D, he was like, I got this move. I'll go for a Frankensteiner, and you pile drive me. And I was like, D, bro. D was like 222 pounds at that time, and I was pretty big, but I was just coming up. So, you know, I wasn't, you know, I didn't know how it was to be big, you know, so he was like, yeah, brother, I'll go for a Hooter run, and you just power drive me, and I'm like, oh, man, that sounds sick, bro. I mean, I think that'd be awesome, but that's pretty crazy. And he was like, no, dude, we'll do it. And, man, I remember, man, when we hit that, man, we were so tired, man. We were so tired. It was like a 22-minute match, and we were just going. And it came time for it, and he went for it. And, dude, he was a big dude, 220 pounds. Yeah. And, man, yeah, he went for it and just pounded it. And the whole place just erupted, man. Everyone stood up, and everyone was chanting XPW, and, man, it was awesome. And that was just the power of DYnamite D, man. He knew how to, you know, what would be a great – and you know what, man? I've never seen that move since. I've never seen it before. You know, and you know, it's yeah, you know, maybe I should bring it back, man, because it was a pretty badass move, man. So. You got some students that can do it, brother. You got like Famous B, you got Ray Roses, brother. You got Lucha. You one of those guys, man, the light guy, brother. You can take them and do the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, hell yeah, man. So, but yeah, man, those death matches at the Grand Olympic, you know, those they were awesome, man. You know, so. And I actually haven't done one since probably Monterrey, Mexico. Monterrey, Mexico is probably my last one.
Well, you teamed up with Supreme. I remember you guys teamed up and you guys wrestled some luchadors out there, some Mexican luchadors, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was crazy. All right, brother, so we're winding down. I told you this is like a 30-minute show, man. So give out your information, brother, where we can reach you. Give out your information for the DYnamite D Memorial show so all the fans that are hearing can go out there and support this good cause, brother, for DYnamite D. You know, rest in peace, the soul. The man was a legend and a great guy and a great worker, brother. Like you said.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's this Saturday night, April 9th in Newhall, California at the American Legion Hall. Santino Brothers Wrestling presents back to the 80s, too, the DYnamite D Memorial Show. It's going to be an awesome show, man. Go to santinobrothers.net for more information on the show. If anyone wants to be inspiring to be a professional wrestler, check out our gym. It's in Bell Gardens, California. It's just about 10 minutes south of Los Angeles, man. It's it's a pro wrestling wrestlers factory, and that's what we're doing over there. We're making pro wrestlers. We have the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy there. We have the Ballard Brothers Kayfabe College, along with a lot of other lucha libre training there, and also with mixed martial arts. So definitely check it out. Check out santinobrothers.net for the wrestling school, and don't forget the DYnamite D Memorial Show back to the 80s too, this Saturday night, April 9th.
All right, thank you, brother. Thank you for having me, and we'll talk to you next time, brother. Appreciate it, Chaos.
All right, Marvin. You take care, brother.
All right, brother. And that was that was Chaos with us. So we're winding down. The show's about to end. There's a couple of minutes left. Next Wednesday night, we're gonna have Corporal Robinson, IWM itself superstar, JCW superstar, you name it. Corporal Robinson will be on with us on Ultraviolent Radio. And you know what? Like Chaos said, go support this show. My trainer, rest in peace, his soul. Support it. Back to the 80s, April 9th. Ultraviolent Radio and Mr. California is out. We'll see you next week with Corporal Robinson.